أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Just one hadith. Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, the author of this book, Sahih al-Bukhari, he has brought this chapter regarding Salat al-Taraweeh. And then he says, the virtues of the one who stands in the month of Ramadan. The Salat al-Taraweeh is known as Qiyamul Layl. He brings the hadith from Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha and says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, one day he left in the night of Ramadan, in the middle of the night, فَصَلَّى فِي الْمَسْجِدِ, and he went to the masjid and he started reading this Qiyamul Layl. How much he read, how many days he read, there's no argument on that, but he did read Taraweeh Salah. And then وَصَلَّى رِجَالٌ بِصَلَاتِهِ, some other people, Sahaba, they also came and they followed Prophet Muhammad ﷺ behind him in his Taraweeh Salah. So one day, 2 days and 3 days, he led them in Taraweeh Salah. When he's seeing that people are joining me daily, on daily basis, then Prophet Muhammad ﷺ left the Taraweeh Salah and he said, you pray yourself, don't follow me, don't read behind me. And he said, the reason I'm doing this is I don't want this to become farz for you. And then you will not be able to read properly and you will miss one farz of Allah. So for that reason he left it, but he told the people to pray yourself individually. Don't pray behind me. The reason is I don't want to make this a wajib or farz. And then later on you will not be able to pray properly. But Taraweeh is sunnah. Prophet of Allah, he read. But many people, they confuse Taraweeh Salah with Tahajjud Salah. This is not right. Because Tahajjud Salah is something, there is main difference between Salatul Layl and Qiyamul Layl. Tahajjud Salah is known as Salatul Layl, which is prayed whole year. The people who would say that Taraweeh is only 8 Rakaat Salah, they take the hadith of Hazrat Aisha, in which she said that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ never used to extend or never used to increase the number of rakats of his salah more than 11 in Ramadan and even apart from Ramadan. This is the hadith of Bukhari, in which as Aisha, she said the Prophet of Allah in Ramadan and out of Ramadan he never used to increase on number 11. He only used to pray 11 rakat salah, indicating that 8 rakat salah he used to pray Tahajjud Salah, Salatul Layl, which was very famous. And we know that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, for him it was farz. قُمِ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا يَا أَيُّهَا الْمُزَّمِّلُ قُمِ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا نِصْفَهُ وَبِنْقُصْ مِنْهُ قَلِيلًا. Surah Muzammil, Allah says to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the Prophet of Allah, oh get up. Oh the one who is shrouded, get up and قُمْ فَأَنذِرْ قُمِ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Worship Allah but little of the night. Meaning don't spend the whole night in worship, have some rest, take some sleep, but also worship of Allah. So this Tahajjud Salah was farz for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. It is only a sunnah for us. It is not farz for us. And we know that Tahajjud Salah is prayed throughout the year, not only Ramadan. So Aisha, she did not mean here that Prophet of Allah used to pray Taraweeh Salah throughout the Ramadan, 8 and even after Ramadan. Is there any Taraweeh Salah after Ramadan? No, Taraweeh is only linked with Ramadan. Man qama Ramadana imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. Prophet of Allah who said, whoever stands in the month of Ramadan, in the nights of Ramadan, and he has said that Allah has made the fasting of the days of Ramadan farz for you, and wasanantu lakum, and I have made the Taraweeh Salah sunnat for you to pray in the nights of Ramadan. So we should not mix the two. Taraweeh is separate and Salatul Layl is separate. Tahajjud is prayed throughout the year. And secondly, Taraweeh is prayed with Jama'ah. One can pray individually, but generally it is practiced in congregation, in Jama'at. As Umar bin Khattab, he led the Sahaba. When he seen the group of Sahaba, one was standing there, one was standing there, one was standing there, he said, don't do this, collectively read. He told Ubay ibn Ka'b, a Sahabi who was the Hafiz al-Quran, he said that you lead them in Taraweeh Salah. And then he started this sunnah established properly, officially in Islamic governments, that Imam should read the Taraweeh Salah 20 Rakaat and read the whole Quran. So to complete the whole Quran in Ramadan is sunnah. But it is not farz. But it is not also right to confuse and mix the two. Tahajjud is separate, Salatul Layl is, the Taraweeh is separate. Secondly, just a few days ago, one youngster, he was walking out after 8 Rakaat Salah and he said, Shaykh, is only 8 to pray sunnah. 20 Rakaat is not sunnah. This is the problem where problem starts. If you're praying 8, Alhamdulillah, you prayed 8, thank Allah and then leave the masjid without saying anything. But when you point other people doing wrong, when they are doing right, then this is the problem. And we need to understand this. I asked him, how do you prove Taraweeh Salah anyway? How do you get the reference to Taraweeh Salah? He said from Quran and Sunnah. He said from Quran and Hadith. I said, where in the Quran Allah has said pray Taraweeh Salah? He said, nowhere. I said, then how can you prove in the Quran then? And then tell me, did Allah say pray 8 in the Quran? He said, no. Then I asked, and how do you prove Taraweeh from the Quran then? They said, okay, no, not from the Quran, but from the Hadith. Okay, which Hadith? Same Hadith which I quoted earlier, that he said, Hazrat Aisha, she said, Prophet of Allah used to never increase more than 11. In Ramadan, and apart from Ramadan. Again, this is not about Taraweeh, this is about Tahajjud Salah. Then I said, okay, how many days Prophet of Allah prayed Taraweeh Salah? We learned from the Hadith that he prayed for 3 days only. I said, he prayed for 3 days. And how many days you pray? Whole Ramadan. I said, how do you get the whole Ramadan Taraweeh then? He said, from Sahaba. I said, you get the days of Taraweeh Salah from Sahaba, but the number you don't get it from them. Because it was Sahaba, it was Umar bin Khattab who said to pray 20 Rakaat Salah, and Prophet of Allah clearly said, Alaykum bi sunnati wa sunnatil khulafa ar-rashidin. That, oh my people, stick to my sunnah, stick to my lifestyle and the lifestyle of my Sahaba, my companions. So Umar bin Khattab and all the Sahaba, if all the Sahaba agreed upon something, it became the ijma'. It became the consensus of this ummah upon one particular act, which we should all follow. But today's new youngsters, they want to understand the hadith from their own self. And there's so many problems in that. It's not only one issue of salah. Then what they do, they try to understand everything from the Quran and Sunnah. Now, such people will lead to doing the things which happen in Woolwich, in London. These two youngsters, they understood the Quran from they themselves. Last year they became Muslim. This year they became the scholars of Quran and Sunnah just by studying themselves. And they will take the wrong meanings of and out of context. This is the big problem. This will lead to it. So we should stick to it. How sad is it? When it comes to medical, we all look for best of doctors. Nobody treats themselves by studying books of medicine. You will never see anybody treating his father or his mother or his son just by reading books. He's rushing to the hospital. Why don't you get the medical book and study yourself and treat yourself? But no one does that. But when it comes to Islam, we all become scholars. We all open the books of Hadith and say, yeah, this is the meaning for me. This is not right. You'll be confused. Because there are so many things in the time of Sahaba which was earlier, but it was mansukh later on. Who understood it? Sahaba and ulama who studied the Quran and Sunnah thoroughly from beginning A to Z. They understand which one is more valid, which was invalid. So Taraweeh Salah is Sunnah. Prophet of Allah prayed only for 3 days. How many you prayed? There's also difference of opinion. But when Umar bin Khattab established, officially in his government, that now one Imam should read the Taraweeh Salah 20 Rakaat, 20 Rakaatan, and one whole Quran should be read. Now, second point to be understood is the word Taraweeh Salah is the plural, is the Jama. In Arabic, if we understand Arabic, then we have Wahid, we have Tasniya, and we have Jama. Singular, and then we have plural. In Arabic, we have 3 stages. Wahid, number 1. Tasniya, Isnain, 2. This doesn't make Jama. For something to become plural in Arabic, you need 3 or more than 3. Now, the word Taraweeh is the plural, is Jama. What is the singular of that? Is Tarweeha. So Tarweeha is singular. Tarweehatain 2 sets of Taraweeh, and then Taraweeh becomes plural. So we need 3 or more than 3 to make Taraweeh Salah established. Now as we know that every set of 4 Rakaat is called 1 Taraweeh. When you pray 4 Rakaat Taraweeh with Imam or with you individually, a set of 4 Rakaat makes it 1 Taraweeh. So if you prayed 4 Rakaat Taraweeh in the night, you prayed until now you prayed 1 Taraweeh. If you pray 8 Rakaat, this makes it 2 Taraweeh. So people who pray 8 Rakaat Salah, they don't pray Taraweeh, they pray 2 Taraweehs. To make it Taraweeh, they need to pray minimum 12. Because 1 set of 4 Rakaat, Taraweeh means relaxing. So every after 4 Rakaat, you see the Imam, he's posing for a while, and then he has his drink, water, whatever, and you read some tasbih, and then you get up for the next set of 4 Rakaats. So 1 set of 4 Rakaat is called 1 Taraweeh. 2 set of 4 Rakaat makes it 8, which is 2 Taraweeh, not Taraweeh. To pray Taraweeh, you need minimum 12 Rakaats. So there's 12 Rakaats, there's no established, the complete Rakaats are 20. 20 is Taraweeh, 8 is not Taraweeh, 8 is 2 Taraweeh. You see? So, and secondly, Prophet of Allah said, when you follow the Imam, you follow him from the beginning to the end. But very sadly here in this masjid and also in other masajid we see, in the beginning, mashallah, on the first of Ramadan, the masajids are packed. But if you see after 10 rakats, after 12 rakats, masjids are half. People leave one by one, slowly. You can't take it. There's very sadly, we see the elders with white beard, they're standing in the masjid, the front of praying all the way till the end. But youngsters, they already left the masjid. Where they have more strength and more energy to pray complete salah. It is also against the sunnah that once you started praying behind an imam, you have to complete until the imam finishes. You don't leave behind imam. If imam is reading 4 rakat salah and he's taking long, and can you leave after 2? No, you have to. You start with Allahu Akbar and you finish with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So it's very important. And another thing is, Ramadan only comes once a year. And those youngsters who leave early, why don't you just spend more time, rather than spending time outside talking and disturbing the neighbors, just stay inside. Just yesterday, one of the youngsters called me and said, Hafiz Sahib, there was some argument. One of the neighbors, she woke up and she told the youngsters, please, very nicely, very quietly, as they do, very calmly, very respectfully, please don't make noise, my children are sleeping. And they turned to her, they said, this is a weekend, we can do whatever we like to do. Subhanallah. From a Muslim, this doesn't make sense. This is not a Muslim behavior. Weekend or what? You're not Muslim? This is not right. This gives bad influence to the masjid. And we always say, these neighbors are not mine and your neighbors, they're Allah's neighbors. This is Allah's house. So we should be extra careful. So rather than wasting time outside the masjid talking rubbish, nonsense, stay inside. Complete the salah. If you have to go, then go home straight away. So many problems we have around the masjids. It's not nice. Ramadan is the month in which we should give peace. Prophet of Allah, one day he said, La yu'min, wallahi la yu'min. Prophet of Allah is saying, I swear by Allah, he has not believed. He is not a Muslim. He said this 3 times. I swear by Allah, he is not a Muslim. I swear by Allah, he is not a Muslim. I swear by Allah, he is not a Muslim. Sahaba, they were worried. Prophet of Allah, khabu wa khasiru, may they be destroyed. Who are these unfortunate people who are not Muslims? He said, the one from whose mischief his neighbors are not in peace. From his problem, his trouble, his neighbors are in trouble. He has not believed. What are we sending a message around? And then the Imam has to be told, please make an announcement. All the time goes in announcements. But every Muslim should understand this. If you come to masjid, come properly and leave the masjid properly. When we come to masjid, what do we say to Allah? Oh Allah, Allahumma aftahli abwaaba rahmatik. Oh Allah, I'm going to your house. Please open the door of mercy. So this is our dua application before we come in. But when we leave the masjid, we forget everything. One of the scholars, he was asked that how do we know is our Ramadan accepted or not? We fasted for alhamdulillah last 12 days. We prayed Tarawih for the last 12 days. Today is 30th Ramadan already. Half Ramadan already gone nearly. Very quickly is gone. he was asked, how do we know that our Ramadan is being accepted or not? He said, surely Allah will know it, but there are some signs which you can indicate and say that inshallah my Ramadan is helping me. He said the way to find out that if your Ramadan is being accepted or not is that you judge yourself. You check your own iman, that yesterday was I a good Muslim or today I'm a better Muslim? Is my yesterday's fasting helping me or not? Is it changing my life or not? If it's still the same way as before, then that means our Ramadan is not helping us. We always hear, Ramadan was started, Ramadan Mabruk, Ramadan Mabruk, Ramadan Kareem. Ramadan is blessed. Ramadan is, respectful, is Kareem, is full of blessings. But the question is, am I making the Ramadan blessing for me? Ramadan is blessed. It's completely blessed without a doubt, 100% blessing. But is it blessing for me or not? If one doesn't pray, if one doesn't respect his parents yet, one doesn't change his life, Ramadan is not blessing for him. It's blessing for someone who wants to take the blessing. So these little reminders are very, very important, for especially our youngsters, who make noise at the back, especially upstairs. Our Naim Sahib sometimes prays upstairs, and he says that upstairs you don't get to your Tarawih Salah properly, because half of them talking and half of them just walking, running around, and every after 2 rakats Tarawih Salah they want to go for drink. Why drink? Why do you need drink for? You should stand here first, read some Tarawih Salah, then you can go for drink, no problem. Every after 2 rakats Salah they were rushing for drinks and running around. These things must be stopped. May Allah enable us to act upon this.